Ooh, what up, though? You know what's going down anytime I upload? It's your man Phoenix Sonny. I'm back with some more of that true story, no more. Um, true story, we're gonna do it different. Yeah, let's get into the real spill. It's hot as hell. If y'all on the East Coast, if y'all on the West Coast, if y'all anywhere on Earth right now, you probably experiencing this heat wave. Yeah, we had a cool 97 degrees down here in North Carolina, Raleigh, that is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going crazy. It's going crazy. Yes, sir. Oh man, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it though. True story. You can't outsmart your lover. Don't try to outsmart your lover. You hear me? Alright. If you already slow though, act like you know though. I'm gonna tell it to you like this, right? You ever find yourself in a relationship, right? And your partner got they get down to them, got how they think, how they move, and you might see some things that you feel like could be fixed or altered, and you start to do things to try to get them to do things. You do this in hopes that they'll do that type of deal, and you find yourself frustrated, like, damn, why they don't? I set it up for them to do that, and they still missed the cue and didn't do that. All right. Well, let's talk about it. You can't outsmart your lover. You can't. Don't try. It's a losing battle. Real talk. What it is you got to get smart with them. Don't try to outsmart them. Don't do that. Not at all. What you can do though is try to take the time to get smart with them. Y'all get smart together. You see that part. You gotta communicate for one. If you dealing with somebody who is hard pressed to communicate, period, it's gonna be even harder when problems occur. If they're not good with talking, with conversation, with dealing with details, period, when the problems arise, yeah, it's probably going to be hard. It's probably going to be hard to deal with them problems because they already have a habit of not talking through things, period. See me, I'm a talker, right? I talk about anything above the water, even things that I'm not interested in, because even things that I'm not interested in, I can learn something from. That's what I know. Most of my knowledge is not stuff that I wanted to know. You dig? Not things that I was necessarily interested in. However, in growing and continuing to grow, you start to take interest in things that you might need to be interested in. You see? So I talk. If a cartoon come on, I'm gonna talk about the cartoon. If Love and Hip Hop is on, I'm gonna talk about Love and Hip Hop. The thing about me is I'm not gonna scratch the surface. I'm not a surface dweller. You see? So my conversation is more in depth. My conversation see further than just what's on the surface. A lot of people, when you get past that part, when you start digging past the surface, they get lost. They get in the place of, oh, this is too much, because they're not true thinkers. See, a true thinker is gonna think through things, and when somebody presents a different perspective, a different way of seeing the same thing that they looking at, they're gonna sit there and they're gonna contemplate and they're gonna consider that perspective because they're a thinker. I think a knows and lives by is more than one way to skin a cat. Meaning, I might know how to do something. It don't mean that I can't learn how to do what I'm doing better, more efficient. Hmm? Don't mean that at all. You see? So for me myself, I know that I gotta be with a person that doesn't have a problem with conversation for one. You know, some people are good for oh man, some people are good for listening because they ready to get it over with. Whatever you talk about. They'll listen. But 5 minutes later ask them to repeat what you was talking about or tomorrow ask them about that same conversation. It didn't register. It didn't register. So I gotta be with a person that can talk. That's what I know. I gotta be with somebody that has insight, period. That doesn't look at things and see it one way. Perspective. Because when you got perspective, it's easy to talk about things, the simplest things, and go so many places from that simple thing. For instance, like I said, I can watch a cartoon and have a good conversation about that cartoon. Reason being, if I'm dealing with a thinker, if I'm dealing with somebody who's open to conversation, open to thinking, open to learning, when I'm looking at this cartoon, I'm not just looking at the characters, I'm looking at what they're doing and I'm looking into what they're doing as well. See, it's a difference. It's a difference to look at things and it's a difference to look into things. Just like it's a difference in getting to know a person and understanding what you've gotten to know. How many people out there got family, brothers, sisters, cousins? Let forget the relationships. We talking about people that you grew up with, knew you all, you knew them all their life. They knew you all their life. Y'all knew each other all your life. Yet you don't understand why they move how they move. You don't understand why they act how they act. You got questions as to why she be on that type of time? Why he be on that type of time? You have no understanding. You just know them. It's a difference. So I gotta be with somebody that's trying to understand the person that they're getting to know. And getting to know is an ongoing process because we go through things. Nothing stays the same. No, nothing stays the same. That's what you gotta know in life. Nothing stays the same. So you gotta be willing to watch and learn as things evolve. So many people will be with somebody, and as they're evolving, you still going off 2 years ago. That person. So many relationships that could be repaired, but it might be one party or it might be both parties. When they do get a chance to interact with each other and repair the relationship, they both looking at each other the same way that things were the last time that they were dealing with each other. Mind you, it might be 2 years later, a year later, 5 years later, 10 years later. Things change. They should, and they probably have. Sometime for the better, sometime for the worse. But a lot of times we don't be willing to find that out. We just going off of what we knew, and we can't shake that to get to know what's in front of us. And on top of all that, what we knew, we never got to fully understand. So now we're dealing with a whole new thing. So now did we grow up enough to look at that whole new thing and want to understand it, not just get to know it? You see? You know she get mad. You know he hot headed. You know for some reason, when y'all talk about this subject, he get emotional. You know for some reason when y'all talk about that subject, she get emotional. Why? Gotta start asking why. You did? You got to start asking why. Communication rules the nation. If you can't talk, you ain't going nowhere. I don't care how many possessions you got. I don't care what good job you got. I don't care what good car you drive. I don't care how good you look. If your talk game, if your communication game is on minimum, you're gonna have a hard time maneuvering through this life on the emotional, spiritual side of things. For real, for real. Because you're gonna have to always find a way to say it don't matter. But it do matter. You use your possessions to say, well, I got a good job. It don't matter that relationship ain't work out. Couldn't have been me. I got a good job. I got a house. Got a good car. My kids taken care of. They got good clothes. Can't be me as to why that relationship ain't work. Stop it. 5. See, now you talking about items. You ain't talking about this. You ain't talking about that. It's a difference. You see, I can't talk to them items when there's problems. You see, if we got financial problems, we make the money. We are the driving force as to what's going to come in and what's going to go out. So we got to build each other as to go doing the job to get the results of what we want. It don't just come, right? So still sharp and still. You might got a man to think that, oh, he ain't got this, or you might got a woman that, oh, she ain't got this or got that. But some of them got good traits. Some of them know how to get a job real quick. They just ain't know how to keep it. Some of them know how to get to some money. They just don't know how to manage it. Do you know how? Can you sharpen that still? Will you be patient enough to talk to them, to walk with them on that journey, to learn them something? Because see, the opposite can attract. A lot of times we be looking for somebody that think like us, move like us, and a lot of times that be, that's a double negative, you heard? You need a negative and a positive. You need a negative and a positive in the battery to get that charge, don't you? For sure that. It's never two positives. Talk about it. Talk about it. I know I'm aggressive. I don't do the best with women that are also very aggressive. Because somebody got to calm somebody down. Somebody got to be the voice of reason. If we both equally rah 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 rah, guess what? It's probably gonna be hard to get through them problems when they occur. So we got to start looking for what we need, what suits our personality, for real. Not what we want. A lot of times, what we want ain't the thing that's gonna water us. Ain't the thing that's gonna make us grow. You see these trees behind us? You need something to water you. You need something to continue to make you grow. You got to put yourself in that environment. That's just what it is. And sometimes we fighting our own self as to what we need to be with. You sloppy. She organized. If you learn to listen and learn to maneuver, she can be your strong point when you're weak. And vice versa. Ladies, you may be organized when it comes to work and hella unorganized when it comes to at home. But he know how to mold that and shape that and get that part going. He energized that part. You got to look at the balance. You see? I don't need somebody to be strong at where I'm strong at. I need somebody to be strong at where I'm weak at. That's the balance. You heard? That's the balance. That's what you always got to strive for. A lesson that's hard learned, though. So, just remember, can't outsmart your lover. Get smart with them. Talk with them. Talk with each other. Figure out the triggers. Figure out why. Don't just tell me, oh, I get mad when woo 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 X, Y, Z, and force a person to be honest. You see? Learn how to ask the right questions. Learn how to present some of the things that you see about them in a way that's not so combative. So they can see. You dig? So they can hear. Not just listen. So they can hear what you're talking about. Because you can't outsmart your lover. You only wind up breaking your brain. True story. True story. Yeah. Just wanted to drop that on y'all. On this hot ass day. It's going down like that. Yeah, but we got to keep it true story no more. Like, subscribe if you're digging the vibe. You already know that. I'll be back though. And when I be back though, y'all better know how to act though. True story. One.